All right, so we did the hands, and at least we started the hands. We have a head, and we want to start on the feet. Now, right now, if you're anything like me, you probably have a very sloppy edge flow here from doing all those slices. So I'm going to start by getting the faces, and honestly, just deleting this part. Because I have lines that didn't extend this way, that can sometimes indicate a normal issue, so I'm just going to select all of it and delete those, and then kind of reframe it here. All right. From there, I'll select my edge. Hopefully, there we go. And now I can go back to the mini extrudes of this process. I added, by hitting this, a translate X, translate Y, and translate Z. So even if my orientation gets flipped a little, I could actually just use my translate Y. Could also adjust my offset, depending, if I wanted to increase that. From there, I would go ahead and do another extrude, do a G, again to do one more extrude, but then for these legs, what I'm going to do is the scale tool and shrink that in. That should give me a little bit of an indent, and if I want this to look a little more loopy, I could do it again, another G. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and get to my shorts. G, extrude, G, extrude. And I'm going to do the same thing for these shorts. Just scale in. There you go. Do another G extrude, and this time I'll go up a little. Not a G extrude. Y. Scale it in just a hair again. And from there, another extrude down. Now I have two approaches. I could keep doing extrudes and adjusting it each time, or for this purpose, I could get the basic shape done, get the basic orientation of how I want everything. Maybe move these back a little. Let's see. Let's grab my vertices. Move these. Scale it back a little. And then, using my multi-cut and control, I could just say, okay, I want the knee here, so let's add a little bit above it, a little bit below it. If I want some ankle articulation, I'll get that in a minute. And then it's just moving vertices. So if we want that indent for the knee, move them a little forward. And if I want a little more of a calf muscle, I could do another line there just to make it better, which would be probably pretty great, right? Or it'd be more defined. But remember, we can keep this kind of as complex or as simple as we want. Then I go back to my edge. If we wanted, we could model the sock, or we could just texture it. And I'm going to do two more extrudes. One here, G, and then one here. At this point, I'll switch to face, select my shoes, extrude, a little tiny bit of thickness. Okay. And move it down. And then my front view, I'd move it to the side. Now in my rush, I did both instead of one, and that's okay, because I can always just actually. Select half. Get my vertexes. Turn on a soft select. A little more of a soft select. Scoot it over. Now I have this big open hole here, but as long as I grab the right amount of edges, I can just bridge it. So edge, control, let's do that one, control. Bridge, bridge. And to deselect, we'll just select those three. I can bridge. And then add my taper. Not my taper, my division. And I did miss one, so just to make sure there's no issues here, bridge, yep, one, okay. And then this is another one of those cases where just using G is going to help me refine that. Okay, so it doesn't like this panel. Got it. So I'll have to work with that edge flow a little bit later. But we'll at least show you how to finish up the foot. Cool. All right, hold on a second. And then you would just continue to extrude this to go ahead and wrap that up to get your foot shape. So I'd select these faces and extrude these. Just 1, 2, 3. And then slice accordingly to form the shape of your foot. Just move a Z, and there we go. Now for the head, once again, we're going to select these top bits that are messy. And then grab your edge extrude. And that's another. Just extrude Y, scale up. And we want to look at this in a top view so that we make sure that we're actually meeting kind of the size of his head. Extrude again. Scale up. Actually, I'll just do this. And as you've seen, I really just like using the multi-cut for where I want the aspects to go. See. And then for that edge, scale up, and scale up until you get really the basic shape. Once you have that, you're going to select face, delete half of it, put it back in object mode. And then under modeling mesh, you want to go ahead and use a mirror. And then pick it so it has the right orientation, move it, and it will auto weld. So you can do that to get your character. From there, just use an extrude to finish up the head or to bridge the top, and you should be finished.